Ralph Poynter, why are you here in front of the ugly house?
Well, I'm here to alert people and to let the president and all of his minions know that we are aware of what is happening to Lynne Stewart. Lynne Stewart, the person who was in front of the movement that made it possible for him to be where he is. We want to ask him why he is not doing something for people who did everything for him. Lynne Stewart is among those people. Now, I'm here to stand to let everyone know I didn't forget Lynne until she is either dead in prison or until she comes home.
And why is Lynne in prison, Ralph?
Lynne is in prison because she exposed the American government for what it is on many levels. When she cross-examined Imad Salem on the witness stand, he admitted that the FBI knew about World Trade Center 1. And when Lynne asked him the question, what did they tell you when you told them that the materials were going to blow up, they told Imad Salem to shut his mouth. And when Lynne Stewart said repeat that, he did. And so now that is the public record. And after Lynne Stewart was convicted for her political beliefs, and that is the belief that people have the right to self-determination and self-defense, the government said to the jury, you see, she is a terrorist. When they asked her feelings on Martin Luther King, she said she was not a supporter of Martin Luther King, but a supporter of Nelson Mandela, who refused to renounce violence in the struggle for liberation. And the government said, you see, she's a terrorist in league with other terrorists that she is defending. Accused terrorists. Falsely accused terrorists. And so, Lynne Stewart, after conviction, traveled around the country to law schools and universities discussing the Bill of Rights, debating with anyone who would debate her. No one debated her, and the Second Circuit increased her sentence from 28 months to 120 months because they said she traveled around the country corrupting our youth in law schools and universities. And at the time I said to Lynne, you know, you have joined the ranks of Jesus Christ and Socrates, but it didn't do them any good either. And so Lynne Stewart is suffering in prison today with cancer that was in remission when she went there. She needed an operation the week she went to the hospital, to prison. She was scheduled to go to the hospital. They insisted that she go immediately to prison, and it took them 18 months to get her surgery, and the attending physician said it was the worst case he had ever seen due to delay. And when cancer was discovered, it was 4 months before anything was done to stop the cancer. And her cancer is in stage 4. The prison has given her 18 to 24 months to live. This was 4 or 5 months ago, and still they won't release her. What are they fearing? They are fearing the voice of Lynne Stewart. I believe the truth cannot be told so as to be understood and not to be believed. Lynne Stewart tells the truth so as to be understood, and she's very believable, and she had a photographic mind when she went to prison. Let us hope that she will someday walk out of prison with that mind intact and be the sword of justice against this corrupt government. Thank you for having me.
Talk about her compassionate release, what we're petitioning for.
There was a 1984 Act for compassionate release, meaning those incarcerated, when they were in certain medical conditions, they could apply and qualify for compassionate release. Lynne has met all of those standards. The only standard left for her is to die. When they say she had 18 months to 2 years to live, that is the standard. She has never been a person who was a threat to her community. She was a threat to the corrupt government. She's a threat to corruption. She's a threat to American foreign policy. She's a threat to American domestic policy because she defends morality and justice. That is a threat to all corrupt government. We want to see Lynne Stewart free to die die surrounded by people like yourself and myself who care about her. We'd like to see her get a decent night's sleep. We'd like to see her take advantage of homeopathic medicine, food as medicine, love as a reality, as a medicine. This is what we want for Lynne Stewart, not only for Lynne Stewart, but for all people, particularly those who gave up everything for the rest of us.
I know you talk to Lynne frequently. How are her spirits?
Lynne's spirits are always good.
She inspires me so much.
She is one of those people. Her body is failing her, but her mind and her spirits are good. And she's worried about those of us who are standing out here in the sun, defending her, other political prisoners, and raising other issues. So I said, Lynne, at least I can sleep at night and eat a decent meal without shackles to my waist and ankles. And so she is a person of outstanding empathy. She understands, she appreciates everything, and when I ask her about her health care, she says, prison health care is an oxymoron. It does not exist. But I cannot complain because many people on the outside do not have health care. This is who Lynne Stewart is. And I hope to see her one day out here defending other people and other issues. And this is what the government is afraid of. They don't want her out here for a day. They would like to see her die like Marilyn Monroe. Come out of the hospital very weak, last 2 weeks, and then die. But Lynne Stewart will never die because her words will always be with us.
Awesome.
Free to land.
Awesome. I love